Why do some people rise, while others crumble? Why do some women thrive in chaos, while others are paralyzed by doubt? Today, we uncover a timeless secret. There's a quiet force behind every powerful woman. A mindset forged not in comfort, but in clarity, resilience, and truth. We're diving into 7 Stoic secrets every woman should know. Principles that can help you rise higher, go farther, and succeed where many fall short. These are not trendy affirmations. They are battle-tested tools, rooted in ancient wisdom, used by leaders, thinkers, and warriors across centuries. And it begins with one powerful shift. Secret number 1. Embrace what you can control. Life is messy. Every day, we face things we cannot predict. Others' opinions, unstable markets, political storms, and personal crises. If we focus on those things, we drown. But Stoicism teaches us to pivot, to reclaim power, not out there, but in here. In our thoughts, our actions, our choices. As Epictetus once said, it's not what happens to you, but how you react to it that matters. That shift changes everything. Take Angela Merkel, the former Chancellor of Germany. She faced some of the toughest challenges in modern leadership. Economic crashes, refugee waves, geopolitical storms. But through it all, she stayed grounded. She didn't waste energy blaming or panicking. She focused on what she could control: her decisions, her responses, her integrity, and that earned her the world's respect. So what does this look like for you? It means drawing personal boundaries, choosing how you respond, rather than reacting on impulse, pouring energy into what aligns with your values and purpose. You can't stop the storm, but you can choose who you become in the middle of it. Obstacles become stepping stones when you face them with clarity instead of chaos. This is the heart of personal power. Not control over the world, but control over yourself, in any world. And once you master this, you're ready for the next piece of the Stoic code. Secret number 2. Cultivate inner strength. Some storms come without warning. Others, we carry within. Inner strength isn't loud. It doesn't shout, but it shows itself in how we stand when the world tries to knock us down. It's the quiet confidence that says, I may not control everything out there, but I do control what happens in here. Marcus Aurelius, emperor, philosopher, survivor of war and loss, once wrote, "You have power over your mind, not outside events. Realize this, and you will find strength." That is the essence of resilience. True inner strength isn't something we're born with. It's built, slowly, patiently, like a muscle. It's built in the hard moments. When you choose discipline over impulse, courage over comfort, clarity over chaos. Think about Oprah Winfrey. She wasn't handed success. She grew up in poverty, faced abuse, felt the weight of the world before she even had a voice in it. And yet, she rose. She tapped into something deeper, a kind of strength that doesn't fade when life gets dark. It carried her from broken beginnings to global impact. And that kind of strength? It's available to all of us. So how do we cultivate it? Through practice. Sit in silence and breathe. That's meditation. Write your thoughts without judgment. That's journaling. Ask yourself the hard questions. That's self-reflection. These small acts of presence build power over time. They help you see clearly, respond calmly, and stay grounded, even when life pulls you in 1,000 directions. Inner strength also comes from knowing who you are and what you truly stand for. Because when your values are clear, your path becomes clearer too. You stop bending for every storm. You learn to root yourself, like a tree, Bending, yes, but never breaking. Obstacles? They no longer feel like threats. They become tests, and every test is a chance to grow stronger. So the question isn't, will life test me? It's, how will I show up when it does? And that leads us to the next Stoic key, one that helps transform strength into lasting success. Secret number 3. Practice self-discipline. Let's be honest, in a world of instant gratification, distractions are everywhere. One scroll, one click, and hours are gone. So how do you stay on track when everything is pulling you away? The answer lies in one word: discipline. Not punishment, not restriction, but self-mastery, the ability to choose what matters most over what feels good right now. Seneca, the great Stoic thinker, said it best: "No man is free who is not master of himself." And that's the truth. Real freedom isn't doing whatever you want. It's having the strength to do what's right, even when it's hard. Self-discipline is what turns dreams into goals, and goals into reality. It's what keeps you showing up on the days when motivation disappears. It's the quiet force behind every long-term success. Look at Serena Williams, one of the greatest athletes in history. Not just because of talent, but because of relentless discipline. Her routine? Brutal. Intense training, precise planning, tireless repetition, on and off the court. She treats every detail with intention, from her diet and recovery to her mental focus and match strategy. That's not luck, that's discipline in motion. So how do you build it? Start with clarity. Know exactly what you want and why it matters. Then, break that goal into daily actions. Not vague wishes, but real, measurable steps. Practice schedules, deadlines, non-negotiables. Next, protect your focus. Learn to say no to distractions, temptations, and excuses. Because every time you choose your goal over a shortcut, you train your willpower like a muscle. And when things get tough, because they will, remind yourself, why did I start? What am I building toward? Self-discipline isn't about being perfect. It's about being consistent. And consistency compounds. Every small win strengthens your foundation. Every setback teaches you something new. Progress might be slow, but it's real. Over time, these daily acts of discipline become your secret weapon. They sharpen your focus, they build your identity, and they take you further than talent or motivation ever could. Because the truth is, a disciplined person can outlast almost anything. And when you combine that discipline with something even deeper, something rooted in gratitude, that's where the next secret begins. Secret number 4. Cultivate gratitude. What if the secret to lasting strength wasn't found in pushing harder, but in appreciating more? Gratitude isn't just saying thank you. It's a mindset, a shift in perspective, from scarcity to abundance, from focusing on what's missing to honoring what's already present. As Marcus Aurelius once wrote, "When you arise in the morning, think of what a privilege it is to be alive, to think, to enjoy, to love." Such a simple reminder, but it changes everything. Gratitude recenters you. It grounds you in the now. And in a world that constantly tells you to want more, be more, chase more, gratitude whispers, you already have enough to begin. But make no mistake, this isn't passive positivity. Gratitude is active, intentional. It's a practice of strength. Because it's easy to be thankful when life is easy, but to be grateful when it's not, that's where resilience is born. Think about Maya Angelou. Her life was anything but easy, marked by poverty, trauma, and injustice. And yet, she didn't just endure. She transformed. She found meaning in her struggles. She found beauty in her pain. And through it all, she gave voice to hope, uplifting millions with the grace and power of her words. What carried her? Gratitude, not for the hardship itself, but for the strength it awakened within her. So how do we build this kind of gratitude? Start small. Each day, take a moment to notice. What went right? Who showed up for you? What simple joy made you smile? Write it down, say it out loud, or simply feel it deeply. A warm meal, a kind word, a quiet breath. They may seem small, but they're the roots of something bigger. Express thanks often, not just in grand gestures, but in little ways that keep your heart open. Because the more you practice gratitude, the more you train your mind to see light, even in dark places. And over time, this daily act becomes a powerful emotional shield. It softens your reactions, strengthens your mindset, and builds a sense of balance that no storm can shake. Because when you truly learn to appreciate what you have, you begin to see that life isn't just happening to you, it's happening for you. And with that shift in perspective, we unlock the door to the next truth on our Stoic journey. Secret number 5. Embrace adversity as a teacher. What if life's most painful moments were also its most powerful classrooms? Adversity. No one asks for it, yet no one grows without it. It shows up uninvited, through heartbreak, loss, rejection, or failure. And still, it teaches us more than comfort ever could. Epictetus once said, "Difficulties show men what they are." And he was right. Challenges strip away illusion. They reveal your core, not who you wish to be, but who you are. But here's the beauty. You don't have to fear adversity. You can learn from it. Look at J.K. Rowling. Before Hogwarts and global fame, she was a single mother living on welfare, facing rejection after rejection. But instead of giving up, she doubled down. She sharpened her storytelling. She turned every no into fuel for the next chapter. Rowling didn't just endure adversity, she transformed it, and in doing so, she built a legacy that touched the world. So how do we embrace adversity? It starts with a shift in perspective. What if, instead of asking, "Why is this happening to me?" you asked, "What is this here to teach me?" Adversity invites you to grow, to build grit, patience, wisdom. It forces you to dig deeper, to get uncomfortable, to become someone stronger than before. Each obstacle is not the end of the road, but a test, a teacher, a chance to develop the emotional armor you'll need for even greater challenges ahead. And when you start seeing adversity this way, you don't just survive hard times. You build from them. You become resilient. You become wise. You become someone unshakable. Secret number 6. Develop a strong sense of purpose. What drives you when no one's watching? What keeps you moving forward when everything around you says, "Stop"? That's the power of purpose. A strong sense of purpose isn't just nice to have. It's your compass, your anchor, and your fuel. Marcus Aurelius, the Stoic emperor, once said, "The soul becomes dyed with the color of its thoughts." And when your thoughts are guided by purpose, your entire being begins to shift. Your choices, your focus, your direction. Purpose gives meaning to the struggle. It transforms effort into devotion, and hardship into mission. When you know your why, you stop chasing every distraction. You stop comparing. You start living intentionally. Look at Ellen DeGeneres. Through comedy and connection, she chose joy as her mission. But her path wasn't always lighthearted. She faced industry pressure, personal criticism, and major public setbacks. And yet, she stayed aligned with her purpose. To make people smile, to spread kindness, to bring laughter into living rooms across the world. That clarity didn't just help her survive, it helped her thrive. So, how do you find your own sense of purpose? Start by going inward. What makes you feel truly alive? What values do you stand for, even when no one else does? Maybe it's creativity. Maybe it's compassion. Maybe it's the need to serve, to protect, to build something that lasts. Once you find those core values, align your daily actions with them. When your work reflects what matters most to you, it stops feeling like a chore and becomes a meaningful expression of who you are. Purpose also becomes your anchor when life gets tough, when doubt whispers, when fear rises. Your sense of purpose reminds you why you started. Each small step, no matter how slow or uncertain, feeds into a greater vision, a vision that belongs to you. Because when your life is guided by purpose, you don't just endure the storm, you sail through it with direction. And from that compass of clarity, we move into something just as powerful, something that can elevate not only your journey, but the people you choose to walk with along the way. Secret number 7. Build and nurture meaningful relationships. No one climbs alone. Behind every great achievement, there's a circle of trust, a web of support, inspiration, and shared growth. That's why the Stoics valued who you surround yourself with just as much as what you do. Seneca put it simply: associate with people who are likely to improve you. Your relationships aren't just social connections, they're the soil in which your future grows. Think of Sheryl Sandberg, former COO of Facebook and the author of Lean In. Her rise to the top wasn't just about ambition or talent. It was rooted in the people she chose to walk with. Mentors, peers, friends who offered insight, challenged her thinking, and lifted her higher. She didn't just build a career. She built a network, and that made all the difference. So ask yourself, who's in your circle? Are they encouraging your growth or draining your energy? Building meaningful relationships doesn't happen by accident. It's intentional. You seek out mentors who've walked the path before you. You collaborate with peers who push you forward. And just as importantly, you become that person for someone else. Support, challenge, inspire. That's how real connection is built. Not through surface-level interactions, but through deep, honest, and consistent engagement. Take time to listen. Reach out when it's inconvenient. Celebrate someone's wins, and stand by them in silence when they stumble. This is what creates not just emotional support, but a rich source of wisdom, opportunity, and personal transformation. Your network can become your safety net and your launchpad. And remember, like any good garden, relationships need care. Check in often. Say thank you. Be present. Because at the end of the day, success is not a solo journey. It's a shared experience built on trust, love, and growth. So, as we close this chapter on the 7 Stoic secrets, know this: you already hold the keys to resilience, to clarity, to power, rooted not in control over others, but in mastery of yourself. Don't strive to outshine someone else. Strive to outgrow who you were yesterday. And if today's insights stirred something within you, let that be the beginning, not the end. Right finger subscribe to the Stoic Journey. Leave a comment, share your thoughts, or tell us how Stoicism is shaping your path. Because we're not just building videos. We're building a community of thinkers, doers, and everyday philosophers, walking the same road toward a wiser, more intentional life. And trust me, the journey is just getting started.